Emily, and welcome to Emwigsters Bookshelf. This is Ink and Inspiration, a series where I chat to authors about their books, their creative journeys, and stories that behind the stories. If you love books and the people who write them, you're in the right place. Let's jump in and tell us who you are and a little bit about your book.
Sure. I'm Vicki Hilton. I write steamy but very heartwarming rom-coms, usually based in the countryside or at least with an animal in there somewhere. I love writing about people's pets and things like that, throwing it in with a bit of romance. But I guess my aim would be to make you giggle, get the heartbeat, the flutter, all the good stuff, and just, yes, make you smile
Oh,
and
the
tell a good
perfect,
story.
perfect types of books that you need just to, to read sometimes.
That's right. And I think that's what I would probably describe my books as, like relief.
Yeah.
There's so much more heavy things you can get into. Obviously, there's darker romance books, and all power to any of those genres. They're fantastic, and sometimes that's just what you need as well. But I think of myself as a bit of a palate cleanser, and I just try and cheer you up.
Yeah, we all need that,
Yeah.
especially with after work and everything. We need the nice sort of happy books to read.
That's true. Pop your feet up and have a nice drink.
Yeah,
Speaking of which, I've got a coffee. I hope you've got something decent.
I've got water and coffee as well.
Very good.
What inspired your French Kisses series?
Wow. Okay. So, guilty secret. I love Frenchmen.
Fair.
I did have a very fleeting, I say fling, because it was literally, a couple of dates and things with a very, very delicious Frenchman when I was young, like in my early 20s, and I was studying. And I think that had me hooked. And then I've just had a few run-ins through my life with some extremely charming Frenchmen who have it's I don't know, I just find them really lovely. They're just so romantic and but they just have a way about them. The ones that I've met anyway, I'm not going to take the whole lecture. Ones that I've met were really nice. I did have one particularly memorable run-in with with a winemaker actually, which actually kind of did inspire the idea for one of my books in the series. I was actually with my husband at the time, but he was so charming and everything. I think that must have planted the scene for somebody who is a romantic hero involved with wine, and that did spark the idea for the first book. Although I did make the main character a billionaire, which I don't think this guy was.
Cannot go wrong with a winemaker or a billionaire, really.
That's right. That's right. And he paints too. I mean, just like a perfect man, fantasy man.
What drew you to writing in the first place? Did you always
Ah,
think you knew you're going to be an author, or is this sort of something that you discovered?
do you know what? It's weird. So I did start writing at a young age with my mum. She is in her late 70s now and unfortunately has dementia. So, I kind of feel like I'm fighting the good fight for her. She was extremely creative and she used to tell me I had a terrible time sleeping as a child, and she would just stay awake with me telling me amazing stories. And we came up with this fairy character, and we would build stories around. And she obviously I'd fall asleep eventually, and I just remember, I just the creativity. I really admired that in her. So I didn't really think about writing until I went to university and I studied script writing and comedy writing, actually. Um, did nothing with it because it just seemed like hard work. And, I realized, it was really hard to break into. I was sort of aiming for film and TV, and it was really hard to break into. So I ended up in insurance, which really didn't suit me, but hey ho, it paid the bills. And I didn't really think about writing again until COVID. And then, of course, all that time on our hands,
Yeah.
we do. So I thought, oh, I'll come up with a story, and I did, and it was a historical romance. It was set in Georgia times, because that's what I grew up reading. So my mom was a massive, historical romance fan, and I just raided her bookshelf from age 10. Don't tell her, it was outside my bedroom. I mean, what was I supposed to do?
It was easy access.
Yeah. And
May
some
as
of it was
well.
nice, but some of it was a little, interesting. But so I started thinking that, from that standpoint, and then COVID kind of came and went, and I had the bare bones of a story, And then I realized I started reading more because of all the time we had. And I actually realized I preferred contemporary romance. So I thought, right, easy, let's just switch it. So I wrote it. I wrote
Don't
it
have to
in
research as much if it's contemporary. You don't
there
have to get
is
all of the time period stuff correct.
there is
Because
that.
people will
And
pick it up.
I feel really lazy, but you're absolutely right. I understand what happens in the day-to-day world now, but not back in the yes, back in Georgian times. I wouldn't have had a clue outside of, watching a few movies and Bridgerton or anything like that. So I took it to modern times, contemporary times, and wrote my first. I took the exact same storyline and wrote a book in modern times, and that became my first book I ever wrote, which is not the French Kisses book. It was totally different. And then I ended up with a trilogy out of that idea. And it's actually based on my hometown, which is which is really weird as well. Um, and then I love writing so much and I enjoyed it so much that I just didn't know what to write. And then I just had that inspiration about that sort of French thing. I've always loved French people and being in France. So I thought, why not? And came up with
Okay.
some ideas. And that was only supposed to be a single book.
Well, there's a lot of different French guys out there, so
Yes,
you
there
got
are.
plenty.
That's it.
There's
And I love
plenty.
reading interconnected series.
Yeah. No,
So I think getting your first story under your belt is great, but then as you're writing, your mind's whirring with all the other side characters, where you can put them in, what could happen for them. You want to see them do well. There's always often in particularly rom-com, there's like a sidekick for the
yeah.
main female. So you think, oh, they need love too. They need a happy ending. So
Next, that's going to happen in the next book.
that's right. Oh, yeah. And it's interesting as well. So when I wrote the first one, it went, it was it it went quite well. But then a lot of people, I say a lot, I'm hardly like a massive name or anything like that, but people, I was so grateful and excited that people contacted me saying, "Oh, and when are you going to write the next book, about this character or that character?" And I was just like, I hadn't planned that. So I ended up writing two more with the characters that I included. So the first female character, her best friend, is the character from the third and final book in the series.
Mhm.
And the middle female character is the best friend of the guy from the first series. So it kind of they're all in there. So I do get them all in and involve them all over time. So it's
I
fun.
was leading into my question about how do you choose which character to center the story around? Is it sort of you know exactly who like the main character will be, and then the other characters to sort of surprise you?
I think so. I do. Like, it's interesting. Everyone's got a different way of writing or, planning.
Mm.
I'm a big planner. I know a lot of people just write freestyle and I'm so in awe because I'm like a cat. I just can't, I'm everywhere. I'm not herding cats. It's probably how I would describe my brain. So I have to be really organized. So I know exactly who I'm writing about, what's going to happen in each chapter before I even start writing. It's ridiculous. So I think I know who's going to be the main character. And they're not necessarily the funnest character because sometimes you want to throw the sidekick in as what you'd imagine would be the fun character that everyone's going to really love
Mm.
into the first book, just to introduce them, weave them through, and then by the end of at the end of the series, they've got the character they've been waiting for, which I think is actually really cool. So I've
That's
read
the
a
fun
few.
part.
Yeah, I've read a few series like that where I've sort of thought, oh, why wouldn't you have this character as the first book? But yeah, I see the point and it's fun and the anticipation of that particular character, it's fantastic. Yeah. So I do
It's
know,
always
yeah.
it's always good to I think if I was to write a book, I would like to have sort of like a main idea. Whether the characters stay along that idea is
Exactly.
another thing. But to have a sort of idea where I want the story to go would probably be the mo makes most sense for my for my
Yeah.
brain.
Yeah, exactly right. I think everyone's
Yeah.
so different. And I thought, oh, I'll just sit down, I had this whimsical idea of me sitting in a garden, writing. Oh, Murder She Wrote. Do you remember that
Yeah.
show on the
Yeah.
typewriter? Jessica, what's her facey writing. No.
No. That's
You
all
literally grab time when you can in between your life and your day job and all that sort of
right.
thing. And it's crazy, but it's so much fun. And the community, writers and readers, is incredible. It's insane how much fun you have
So
doing this.
the community is sort of the main sort of push off for all new books and everything to come out in series. So it's always good to see the
Yeah.
support authors get as well.
It. Well, I just, yeah, and just the lovely people in the author,
Mm.
the books or bookish space is, yeah, it's a really, from my experiences, it's been absolutely amazing. And I
Yeah.
feel very honored that I get to sit here and do this and, giggle and go, oh, I wrote a book about a girl who met a French billionaire and and it's fun. It's
It's
fun.
always fun. How do you do your character building? Do you sort of know their personality and everything before writing, or you discover?
I do know exactly. As I say, I'm such a planner. I fill out these personality sheets, character sheets, past wounds and what their false beliefs about their work, particularly in romance, their
Mm.
false belief about how they exist in the world and what is their underlying, yeah, not when I say wound, that sounds very dramatic, but their underlying issue and everything. And the just from that you can build your happy ending off, around the
Yeah.
mending that, mistaken idea. So I do a lot of work on characters. I do prefer to write characters who are a little, when I say insecure, I don't mean, sort of annoyingly, but human. We all go through life. No one's confident and never question themselves or question their decisions or any, even what,
If you
shoes
if
they've
you had a
worn.
character if you had a character like that, no one would believe them at all. Like,
That's
no,
right.
they
It's like,
don't care about you.
exactly.
Nothing will go wrong in your story at
No,
all.
exactly. And it has to be human, right? It has to be things that would go wrong for all of us. Otherwise, it's not relatable. It's not funny, particularly writing rom-com, I think. It has to be a slice of real life. Obviously, you can write in a fantasy world, because, I'm not saddling up with a cowboy next week. Well, but it's
Yeah.
I can take things that have happened to me. A lot of the things I write about have happened to me. I'm lucky enough to have had a crazy life.
Easiest to write them sort of from experience and then put it in onto a character. Book.
Exactly, exactly. And like scenarios, I think I've written in one of books, it's ridiculous. It was a character just losing her car
Yep.
keys. And it just snowballed and she was in a supermarket. And that happened to me like literally a couple of months before. And I got stuck and I had to phone my boss and get her to come pick me up and take me to work. And it's just I borrow a lot of life into my and use it in books. I do. And a lot of people I've met too, which I probably shouldn't. But never close people because then that would be. But I always get my cats in, the cats and dogs in.
You need the cats and dogs. That pets
Yeah, I
are
think
most
so.
important.
I'm obsessed. Do you have pets?
No, I would love a cat or a dog, but no pets.
One day,
One day.
life goals.
Yeah. Did you have a favorite moment to write in the series?
Yes. So it was in the last book. I've been waiting for, as I say, the female character was the main or the best friend of the female character in the first book. So I wanted to write her straight away, but then, as I say, another reader questioned that and said, "Well, what you got to write about this character?" And I hadn't planned on it at all because she didn't strike me as a particularly exciting or funny character to write about, but it turned out hopefully quite well. The third character, she was hilarious. She is just crazy. She's real sunshine. I do tend to write a lot of grumpy sunshine. I love opposites attract
Yeah.
because, you will meet people through life and you just first impressions, you're like,
Yeah.
okay, nothing to do with them. But, there's always something, you can always find a middle ground somewhere. And if that happens to be a romantic middle ground and actually you chink away at their armor and, I think that's good. So I wrote this particular character. She is very sunshiny, very much didn't want to settle down in life, traveled a lot and didn't ever really have a proper job outside of coffee making and working in cafes and things. She also had quite severe dyslexia. So I figured that would be a bit of her motivation for not having that sort of office job and kind of keeping on the move and everything. And I'm really happy with the way I kind of brought her character out and to make her
Mm,
relatable in that sense. Like she was funny, but she was also sort of covering up for something that she really struggled with. So I think with rom-coms, there's a sort of it can't always be laughs. It has, in my mind, there has to be some emotion and
mm.
relatable struggle in there somewhere. And I think she was the most fun to write because I do, my husband is dyslexic and I have some sort of fingers in those pies. So I do understand the struggles. And I felt that that was really nice to write. And I was able to make that human. And I had a couple of people on my ARC team who were dyslexic and, that according to them, I wrote it quite well. So I'm quite pleased because I was a bit nervous about that. But she was definitely my favorite character to write because the meat cute was the best. So he was a
Yeah.
fisherman. He's a fisherman on slightly on the grumpy side. He's got a lot of money issues. And he has this restaurant, this beach restaurant, beach bar, beach restaurant. He's French, of course, ooh la la. And he for his peace of mind and various other reasons, he catches fresh fish to serve in the restaurant. She's just arrived to work for him. She doesn't know this yet. She thinks he's just a fisherman, but he's actually going to be her boss. And she decides to take a swim before she heads up to meet him. And he catches her in his net. And that was a
Okay.
fun scene to write. Literally, he hauls her out, and he's just like this stunning older tattooed god. It's like Poseidon, in the flesh, and she's just like. And then literally next chapter she finds out he's her boss and yeah, it doesn't it goes on from there.
I love the meet cutes. They're the ones where you're like, yep, I'm invested in this
Yeah.
couple.
Do you know, I think it's funny. It makes such like when you're writing, just finding a meet cute and then the inspiration will flow. As long as
Mm.
it's a good one. And I do think every time I write a book, they're getting sillier and sillier.
But that's a fun part. You need the fun meet cute.
Oh, I love writing. Just reflecting on it. You can tell from this screen, can't you? So much fun. I'm
Has
actually
writing has writing and publishing of books changed the way you see yourself?
Yeah, it's made me realize how disorganized I am. I always suspected, but yeah, I'm not very organized. I do have a little bit of help on the organization side of things because I'm just yeah, I find it hard to focus.
Mm.
Also it's made me realize that I should it's interesting because I think a lot of writers tend to just because through choice or circumstance or just sorry, my hair's being blown in by the wind by the fan. I think a lot of authors do they are quite self not what's the word I'm trying to find? The opposite. Oh my gosh, my brain. This is menopause for you. You know when oh my lordy lord, that's it, my brain has gone. You know when people yeah, they're quieter. They tend to sort of do that. I tend to really thrive off people like chatting with you. I'm in such a good mood now. I'm going to go out and smash out 2 chapters. I know it. I can feel it. And that's what I think has been the best thing about this.
Mm.
Meeting people, bouncing off people. I definitely thrive on community and laughter and chat and connection. And I think, yeah, that's, I can't remember what your original question was or whether that's anything to do with it, but that's what I'm going to say.
I think you also, it's like you need to be a bit more extroverted than like trying always keeping to yourself. But
Extrovert.
like
There you
yeah,
go.
you
Thank you.
keep on
Yeah.
picking and choosing
Introvert.
as
Yeah.
well.
Like
Like
I
you like
think,
need the quiet, but also like you need the community.
yeah.
You need to talk to people. It's like
I think so. I'm sure there'll be plenty of writers who would disagree, and I know there are people that hate going on social media, and
mm,
fair enough. It's quite confronting, but also there's people like me who are just annoyingly put me on the camera and let
yeah.
me chat. But no, or I just think it's fun to again, it's that community, it's meeting
Mm.
people and you pick up, you chat to people and they'll give you a little say something which will lodge in your brain and it's an idea for a storyline or a comment or a funny joke or something like that. So, it's yeah, it's always a gift, but
It's
not for
always
everyone.
like that sparks of inspiration that you can get.
Absolutely, absolutely. And it's true. It's so funny. You can talk to someone and they'll just say something and it will just, your brain will just fire and you're like, okay, that's a meet cute. That's
Yeah.
brilliant. Or I can use that in my book I'm writing at the moment and, that sort of thing. So, yeah, Ah, it's good. It's good.
Is there any books or authors that inspired you to either become a writer or in your writing?
Yes. Okay. So I think the person, and no one really knows who this writer is anymore. She was massive in the, I'm going to age myself now. She was massive in the 80s slash early 90s. Jilly Cooper. She English. So
Oh,
again, it's yeah,
maybe.
she was very, very English. She's just had a new book and she's just had a series made out of one of her books, Rivals, I think it was. But I used to write, she was the my first kind of dabble in anything that was contemporary romance. So before that, I was on the pirates and lords and that sort of stuff, which was fine, I'm not going to complain. But I ended up reading her books, and she wrote some shorter books and then some massive ones. They used to, oh, what did they used to call them? There was a term that people would use. They're bonkbusters. That's it,
Oh, yeah.
bonkbusters. Those. So around the time of Jackie Collins and things like that. So this was Jilly Cooper, and she's very English. Again, she's sort of slightly on the upper class, got loads of animals. She wrote about dogs, horses. She always got animals in her books. And I think I probably take a lot of inspiration from her. She's still writing, which is awesome. And she's
Yep.
very funny. She's very funny. But now when you read some of the older books, you're like, oh, they're a little, not really stood the test of time, like social standards and things like that.
Yeah.
But just from the sentiment. And I think she is definitely my biggest inspiration. And if I had to pick a book now, I probably, if I knew I would be happy and I would be enjoy the whole thing, I probably would pick up something by Christina Lauren. Love their books. They're awesome. Two of them. They write so well together. Yeah, they always hit the spot for me. Who else? Lucy Score. I love Roxy Noir. She's on the sort of the more racy side of things, which but not a complainer, it's good.
Can never
Um,
go wrong with that.
no, exactly. Serena Bowen, just people like that, just people
Yeah.
that, a wide range. But I do tend to pick up the occasional romantic book as well. I have read most Sarah J. Maas stories, and I'm certainly making my way through the old, the Bat Boys,
Yeah.
enjoying those very well.
They're like the stock standard
And,
ones, but yeah.
just
Can't go wrong.
easy reading. I know. I remember
Easy.
listening to the, I don't know if you've ever heard it, it was an audio version of, it was the second one. Oh gosh, I can't remember the one. Oh, Lordy Lou. Can't remember now with the name. That's terrible. A quarter
Yeah.
something. And
Is it
she,
like Mr. Fury's
Mr.
not the
Fury. So the
is
first
it
one was no, yeah, quarter
Thorns and Roses?
Moses. It was Mr. Fury. What's
I can't remember what the
it's
third
the
one is.
blue one, the
The
blue one.
blue one. I know the color of
Yeah.
the book.
And
It's red, blue, green.
I was
That's all
listening
I
to it in
remember.
France, funnily enough. Yeah, red and green, exactly. I was listening to it in France, funnily enough. And I was listening to the live action version, the live recorded one. And it was the ensemble cast. So it was filthy. I was shocked. I was like, please no one hear what I'm listening to. And I'm walking around around the Eiffel Tower listening to, I don't know, something very unnecessary. So I just think, yeah, there's so many different ways you can, enjoy fiction. And to my mind, the most important thing is it takes me out of my world, but
Yeah.
it has to be something relatable, about the book, or even if it's just one character, just someone that I can, anchor
Yeah.
me somewhere. Because there's some crazy books out there, there really are. And I've read a few of them.
You need at least one or two characters to make it believable for you to keep
Yes,
reading.
something.
What advice would you give to a writer working on their first book? And if you were
Oh,
given any advice?
okay. Stick at it. Even when it feels that you're not getting anywhere, just keep plugging on. Don't keep rereading everything you've written. That is a real pitfall. And it doesn't matter your first draft. They call it a trash draft in
Yeah.
writers' circles for a reason. It is often, sketchy as, but that gives you the bare bones to then go back, revisit, let it breathe for a little bit, go back, polish it up. You'll find things you're like, no, that doesn't work, and it's brutal, but you just got to let them go. And then other things will inspire you as you're reading what you've written, and you'll just add to it, and just keep plugging away. Don't ever think you're not good enough, because
Mm.
there are so many different writers and readers, and so many readers like different things. So
Yeah.
no one's ever going to go, oh, this writer's amazing. Everyone loves their books. That's not true. And someone will like your book, someone will connect with you, someone will love your book, someone will be a forever reader, which I think is really, really cool. And just don't give up, but also don't give yourself a hard time, because it's very easy to do that.
You need to just get through the first draft, basically.
Yeah. Yeah, just spit
I
it
think
up.
I think
Get it out.
if you keep going over it as you're writing it, you're just going to get stuck and like lose the
That's it.
story as
Yeah, your
well.
momentum in the story, and then you question everything, and it's easy to do. I mean, you'll know when something is wrong, and sometimes I'm writing and I'm on a chapter, and I'm just like, it's not flowing at all. Like some days are harder than others to write, obviously, but it's just not. There's something wrong. So I'll take the dog for a walk, and I'll just often just that walking is amazing, and and I'll think, and it will just clear it all out. And then I'll be in the shower the next morning, maybe, and while I'm, just doing something mindless, the spark will
Yep.
hit me, and I'll just be like, "Of course, of course." And then, you're back to the keys, like a whirling dervish, like Jessica, what's the
Yeah.
face for murder she wrote.
Need like notebooks and everything all around
Yeah,
everywhere just to
you
write
do.
them down.
Ridiculous. I have so many garbled voice messages on my phone because often, yeah, I'm in the shower and I get these inspo moments, and so you can hear water, and I'm just like trying to like lean over the sort of sink, trying to shout into my phone something that I've thought about because I know, guarantee that I won't remember by the time I've dried off and got dressed. And
No,
so,
it's
yeah,
gone.
it's like that old sort of thing. Wake up in the middle of the night and have an idea, and you have to write it down.
Yeah.
That does work, except when you are absolutely half asleep and when you read what you've read the next morning, it makes no sense. It's crazy.
Your handwriting's horrible.
Yes.
I
And
think
you're
that's
like,
why it's now like voice noted, and then you hear the sleep in your voice.
that's
You're like
it.
not making sense. What
No.
word am I saying?
And you're like, what was I thinking? What the hell?
I need a
Oh,
translator for myself.
yes. Oh, yeah. That's a good idea.
Do you have
Crazy.
do you have a favorite writing snack or drink?
Coffee, which is probably not the best because I'm quite an excitable person. So I should just chill, have cocoa and water. Um, Definitely snack. I love Skittles, and I'm unashamedly addicted to them.
You can
Unashamedly.
get like nice little handfuls and just snack on them as you're
Yeah.
writing too.
Yes, exactly. As I go, and then before I know it, I've gone through a whole, massive pack. But
Yeah.
it's a problem, but I'm owning it. It's fine. So Skittles, water, definitely water, and coffee. Oh, that's so healthy, isn't it?
It
Yes, and
keeps
I
going.
yes,
Keep
it
going.
does. I sit and nibble on vegetables and broccoli, things like that.
I don't
No,
think anyone would do that. I
no.
think
And
that's very good of them, but no.
exactly. I mean, it's great, but it's not for everyone. And again, it's one of those things, don't beat yourself up over it.
No.
Guilty pleasures are fine as long as they don't hurt anyone or yourself.
That's why you go for a walk to your thoughts as well.
Yeah,
So
exactly. It's
you can
good.
enjoy more Skittles.
There you go. I hadn't thought of that. Oh, I love it. Isn't it amazing how we can justify our
Yeah,
choices like that?
you always can justify it some way.
I think that's a skill. I do. So
Yeah.
congratulations, you have it because yeah, that's great. I love that idea. Right, I'm off to the shops to get some more.
Do you listen to music while you write?
I do in different ways. So when I was writing the French Kisses series, I made a playlist for each story, which is I sort of put into the front of my book so anyone can listen to it. Sort of, what do you call those things? You scan them and then it
Oh
takes you
yeah.
to onto Spotify and anyone can listen to the playlist, which I love because I think it's nice to hear what writers are listening to while they're writing to give you a sort of feel of the story. So I make playlists and I will listen religiously to those. But also I'm a big fan of white noise
Yeah.
because I have this brain that just will just bounce around. And sometimes I need to crack the whip, get going. What do I do? I listen to rain and storms, which is crazy, but it's so calming for me. And I do get, I'm quite productive. And then I've been listening more recently to country and westerns as I'm planning on writing a rom-com cowboy series next year. So I'm getting
Getting in the atmosphere.
that's it, that's it. So that's kind of so easy listening music, nothing I need to know the lyrics to.
Yeah.
So if I know the song, I'll sing along with it, which
I
is
would be
not
the
good.
same.
So something easy and quiet. And storm is also really good. Thunder and lightning. Very
Calming, calming music.
yeah.
You need that.
Yeah, calming sounds. I know, you can tell I do, don't you?
And my final question is, who has been the biggest supporter of your writing?
Oh my gosh, that's an impossible question. Well, obviously my family, because they have to
Yeah.
live with me, and I'm so self-obsessed, or sort of self, I am self-obsessed because what are you doing, Mum? I'm going to write. It's just like it's all about me. And so I do appreciate they put up with me being totally distracted, taking myself away from the family just for hours at a time. My husband is also a graphic designer, so he helps me with all my pretty pictures and things. He's not my artist, my cover artist or anything like that, but he does helps me with all my social media and that sort of thing as well, which is great.
What's one
Um,
thing that you don't have to do?
yes, that's the
You
thing,
can
because
just
when you are,
post
yeah,
it.
as an independent author, you do everything,
Yeah.
and it's fun. It's so much fun, but it's so exhausting. You know, like I've got a book signing in 2 weeks, and I'm literally I can't show you. Well, I probably could, but it's like piles of books waiting, packed up, waiting to go.
Oh,
Which
yeah.
they were all over the floor yesterday. Me trying to work out what I needed to reprint, la la la. And it's just little things like that will take days to organize. You just got to do it in little bits and pieces. And writing itself, you need to be focused and
Yeah.
dedicate time, and marketing. Don't get me started.
Can't.
It's a
So a
lot.
full time, it's like another full-time job
It
on top of
is. It
everything else.
is.
Yeah.
And a lot of us independents do hold down a day job as well,
Yeah.
which is just crazy.
And it's like, why haven't you finished writing? Because I've got
I
20
know.
other things that I need to
That's
be
it.
doing.
That's it. Like I have a deadline for the end of the month, which I am not going to hit. I know it. I know it. Even if I sat down and wrote solidly for a week, I know I'm not going to hit it. But I'm going to give it a good go. I will try.
You'll get close,
I know. I
which is
know. I
fine.
will get there. I will get there. No, it's fun. And it's yeah, I think just having that sort of goal, and other people, other authors are amazing.
Mm.
So the book I'm currently writing is actually in a shared world series with three other Aussie rom-com authors, which is fantastic. I won't tell you too much about that yet, but that's going to be very exciting. That's firefighters, and that's, as I say, Australia based, which is my first time writing a story in Australia. Could you believe it? I always write the US and the UK. I don't know why, considering I've lived here for 20 odd years. Um, so the other authors are amazing,
Mm.
and that support is fantastic. Even if it's just to sit down and write together, or just throw ideas around, talk about marketing again, and just the social side of it's really lovely. I've met some amazing Australian writers, which is just gorgeous, and that circle keeps growing.
Even better.
We have some
It's
amazing
always
writers.
nice to grow out the circle as well and sort of
Mhm.
vent and
Event, yeah, have someone
everything
to better.
with
What was
everything.
I thinking? Or
Why?
my book's not come from Amazon. What am I going to do? I have a signing in 5 days. How do I? Yeah,
Help
that's
me.
happened. Oh,
And
good. It's
the,
fun.
the author community is probably one of the best that there is around and
Yeah,
to help and boost each other up as well.
I think so. So supportive. I think I don't know about any other countries, but I do think Australians, just generally our personality, our default zone to be, for sort of community is awesome. It's not, no one's ripping each other down. There's people are genuinely wanting to help each other out, which is fantastic. And as I say, like with the readers too, readers are so excited about the romance sphere. And it
Yeah,
makes us excited because we're like, oh my gosh, people are loving what we're writing. It's amazing. It's so good.
yeah,
It's like a
yeah.
big hug.
Yes. We all need a bit of romance and
Absolutely. Oh my goodness, yes.